to trust the ebb and flow of life. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the latest insight into trauma recovery. If you have found any nuggets of gold in this video, please give it a like, comment below what you got from it, and any questions you may have. Share it with your loved ones who need to hear this. So you might be thinking, how do I surrender to the ebb and flow of life when life throws so much at me? Perhaps there's certain people that have been taken away from you, or perhaps causing a rupture inside of you. Perhaps it's certain experiences or events that is pulling away your mental, emotional, and energetic capacity to be able to hold space for yourself. Perhaps it's things not going your way and you're spiraling down and you're so lost, you don't know what to do. You're caught up in fear and panic, feeling uncertain about the future. There's so many things that we go through that we desire for things to turn out to be a certain way, in the way we want it to fit in with our reality and our desired experiences. But it's so natural for life to throw something in the works at you. And the thing is, we need to learn to trust even more. That's right. We need to learn to trust even more when things don't go our way, when we're constantly facing all of these challenges. There's a reason why this is being surfacing up for you. It's showing you that there is a better way to handle and overcome obstacles, triggers, emotional overwhelm. And it's not through control. It's not through defaulting into your coping mechanism, avoiding, hiding, people pleasing, pushing people or certain interactions or experiences away, cutting yourself off from people. That's not the answer. That's just a band-aid fix that offers temporary relief, but it's not going to resolve anything in the long term. And so what I have learned along the way when this shows up for me is to embrace trust. And I totally get it. It's completely hard to even surrender to what's going on in our world rather than resisting it and fighting it out. It takes way more energy to do that rather than to soften, relax, and surrender and trust the process. Let me share with you a story. For me, I never planned or intended to live nomadically. I thought I would live in Sydney for the rest of my life until a series of events lined up that revealed to me that I need to get out of here. And I trusted it instead of resisting it. At first, there was a resistance, and my logical mind was scared to take that leap of faith into the unknown by living nomadically. Living in Bondi Beach, my dream destination, having access to spiritual events, conscious community, plenty of vegan restaurants and cafes, and of course, nature. The beach is my sanctuary, my second home. And as I noticed, things showed up for me, such as the landlord wasn't honoring what he said to me when I first moved in, and the ridiculous rental increases, and so much noise coming through from the new neighbors that moved in. There were so many signs that were telling me to get out of this bubble. And the insight came through when I was in Mossman looking for a place to stay and to check out the vibe there. And I saw this man in a corporate suit bringing his bin into his house, and you could see his fancy car and his fancy home. And I just felt this immediate contraction that he represented to me the rat race to work in these corporate jobs to pay for this lavish lifestyle. And when I saw that, it did just not resonate to me. This is how I want to live my life anymore. And sure, I can afford the rental increases in Bondi, but I wouldn't have anything left for myself. So I decided to end my lease, sell everything, and donate whatever's left over in 3 weeks before my lease came to renewal. And since then, I haven't looked back. It's been almost 2 years now since I took that leap of faith. And I can tell you it wasn't easy. I was trying to figure out, how do I live nomadically? And along the way, I had to do anything what I could to be able to find some form of stability in my nomadic life. And I was able to finally work out a system through trial and error. That brought so much insomnia for 2 weeks, as well as anxiety. And I was about to run a workshop as well, which turned out very well. I was very pleased how each participant showed up for themselves and the breakthrough that they got, despite what was going on in the woodwork for me. However, looking back, I can see I've come a long way. I was wanting to find a way, how can I soften more? How can I be more fluid in my feminine? How can I have trust and faith in life? And this spiritual intervention that came through for me was the awakening that I needed to do that. And I was able to dissolve layers and layers and layers of control by living a nomadic life. It's not for everyone. Not everyone is wired that way. And what I've got from this is that by learning to trust and have faith what life has on offer for me and where it's taking me rather than me taking it, it has opened up my eyes that stability is not just through the environment, it's also within myself, navigating my emotional landscape, showing up for myself every single day. And I lost myself along the way through that because I allowed the instability of living a nomadic lifestyle get to me until I shifted that and found stability within myself, knowing that I will have a place to stay on these dates and these dates and these dates. And just surrendering to that trust and faith in myself that I can be stable living a nomadic life. And to do that is that I must show up for myself in order for life to show up for me, rather than relying on life to constantly showing up for me and I'm not showing up for it. The beauty when things don't go your way that you hoped it would is that it's bringing you all of these challenges, obstacles, and difficulties, as well as hardships on all levels of your life to show you that there is a better way than the way you are currently operating right now, a default coping mechanism, a default programming. And through that, To be able to lean into trust, to have faith, what's showing up in the chaos is through acceptance. That is the doorway to trust, is acceptance. Because resistance brings us 10 steps backwards, but we're not progressing forwards until we accept the challenge, accept the hardship, accept the obstacle. And when we accept, then we open up something within ourselves to be able to work with it. And then the clarity will come through how to resolve this. And that in itself is a journey. What will happen if you can learn to accept what's going on in your life, what's going on within yourself? And through acceptance, this is where you no longer feel so much resistance, anxiety, panic, and fear about the unknown. This is where you can embrace the unknown, is through acceptance. I've also noticed that by embracing the unknown, so many doors and opportunities for growth and expansion in all areas of my life have showed up for me as well. Because as soon as I show up for myself, so does life. No one else can show up for you but you. And sometimes we need a spiritual intervention to wake us up, to see another way through that is far more better for you. And through that, I've also learned to accept the flaws and the imperfections of my partner, where I want him to be more masculine, for example. And now, through acceptance and softness in the way I engage with him in our conversations and interactions, and I catch myself out when I want to nitpick on him, criticize him, tell him what to do. You could say basically become this dominating mother. I observe that reactivity inside of me and just accept what he's doing. And when I allow him to do that, organically, he steps into his masculine and he's willing to take on feedback from me as well, because it's coming from a place of softness that comes from acceptance. Acceptance doesn't judge. Acceptance is neutral. Acceptance is an invitation to see where this will lead to. With judgment, we block ourselves from opportunities for growth, expansion in our connections and our experiences in life. Judgment keeps us stuck. It weighs us down in the past. It doesn't allow ourselves to move through, to move forward. And this is why acceptance is the key to your success in navigating what life throws at you. And there you shall find that it becomes easier and easier and easier to navigate through the ebbs and flows of life, the way life is meant to be. Life is showing us how can we trust ourselves even more rather than controlling ourselves and the situation. How can we release these old patterns of being that is no longer serving us anymore in order for something new to open up within ourselves instead, such as trust. And through that, you will feel more presence in your being, stillness, clarity, focus, and certainty when you are in this state of trust and surrender, knowing that you've got your back and so does life. I hope this serves you. And if you feel that you need to start healing some old woundings that's keeping you stuck and trapped in the past, and you want to shift this, you might be interested in attending my workshops that I run in London and in Adelaide. There's some different types there, so I highly recommend that you check out the link in my YouTube video description for more details, and you can book a free clarity call to see if this is right for you and any questions you may have. You can also join me for my Spring Equinox Women's Healing Circle, just for women. And this is a beautiful container for women to fully show up and rise in love and worthiness within themselves by dissolving any distortions and conditionings that's keeping them trapped in the past from societal and ancestral programming. If you can't attend live, you get access to the replay for 1 month as well. And people have found that they were able to dive deeper and deeper by watching the replay. So you can learn more about that or book your spot in the link in the video description. If you prefer to work with me privately, you can choose to do so by working with me for 1 day for those who are time poor in a one-to-one tailored trauma recovery retreat, just you and me, and we will work through your most current concerns and issues that you would like to work through and break through. If you want something more extensive, such as working with me in 3 months to experience a personal transformation in different aspects of your life, I highly recommend you watch my free webinar, Overcome the Impacts of Childhood Traumas in 3 months, and to book a free clarity call to see if this container is right for you. It's not for the faint-hearted. It is a high-level container that offers results, growth, transformation, as well as liberation that is beyond your thinking mind. So you can find all of the details in the video description. So, my love, what difference would it make if you can learn to accept any imperfections and flaws of life in your relationships, in humanity, and within yourself? Life would feel so much more expansive, abundant, and clear when we do so.